Welcome back to the Garden with Joy and Holly radio show. Happy to have you around. Thank you so much for supporting the program this year, purchasing products from the companies that invest in the program financially to allow it to be heard on your station, your favorite station, this station, each and every week. Well, it's time for a final segment of Chatter Spot. Often we started this a couple of weeks ago when we had some vacancies in our third segment guest deal, or when we didn't have a third segment guest. So these are just fun little questions that compel us to think and, in some instances, appreciate life in a different manner. So I'll start with this one, Holly, and if you've got any, I don't know if you are contributing to any questions that you have thought of, but smells you do not like in everyday life.
Well, for me, I have some nasal allergies and sensitivities, so there's smells that I just don't like, and then there's ones that trigger sneezing and headaches and things like that. But I don't like car exhaust, especially when it's like very carbon heavy. You know, like the stinky car. I don't like that. That bothers me. People who are very heavily perfumed and they don't have.
Do people do that purposely because they don't want to shower, or they think that is really a really pleasant smell, and they're like, "Oh, I want everybody to smell how good I smell."
I don't know, but I know that like I've seen people, online influencers or whatever you call it, and they're showing these get ready with me videos, and they're spraying themselves 7 times with perfume. Why? Why do we need to spray ourselves 7 times with perfume?
I don't know.
It's a lot. So anyway, those are probably my 2 worst ones. I would say that I don't like the smell of vinegar. It's not my favorite smell, but I tolerate it.
The smell of rotten potatoes.
Oh, yeah, that's awful.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you are a farmer or have been on a farm, the smell of rotten soybeans is a horrendous smell.
Yeah.
You take rotten potatoes and amplify that by about 150%. That's what rotten soybeans smell like.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
That sounds terrible.
I guess like tire smoke.
Yeah,
that's not very good.
Like the rubber smell.
The rubber smell. Yeah. So yeah, those are mine. So this is kind of how this works. And if you're interested and wanna, and you like, I like this. We've had a couple of people voice in and really enjoy these segments. We will do this sporadically next year if that's something that you would like to hear. All right, things that scare you.
I live with generalized anxiety disorder, so a lot of stuff is like makes me anxious. But I think one would be if I am walking on a trail in a more populated area.
You're a hiker. You're a hiker, yeah.
Yes. And I usually stick to trails that are, groomed and well maintained and as safe as can be. But it would be coming across somebody who has a dog, and their dog, they're like, oh, he's friendly, and then the dog comes up to me and bites me. I do carry pepper spray when I go on these walks, so I would not. You can get mad at me, but I would pepper spray a dog if I had to.
Has a dog bit you before?
When I was very young, my neighbor had these German Shepherds, and they attacked me. I don't know if I had any major bites, but they knocked me down, and it was very scary.
But experts, and take this for however you think in an emergency, a lot of animal experts say that if you are being attacked, you want to hit the animal in the tender area, their eyes, their nose, something in their tissue, which
they're soft
tissue, because that is part of their. Oh, if I injure this, I'm not going to be able to find food or stuff.
Right, but I don't really like thinking about it. It is something that kind of scares me. What about you?
Bridges, hospitals. Don't care for either one of those. Getting T-boned. That's a fear.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know you didn't like lemonade a couple of weeks ago, so there you go. Checkmate. Flying, don't care for that at all.
Right. I don't like flying either.
Now, I've never been in a commercial aircraft. I've only been in single-engine Cessnas doing aerial photography in the early 2000s. And for the USDA, we'd run longitude lines. No, what's the one up and down? That's the longitude. Longitude.
Longitude.
And photograph every 0.8 of a mile from 5,000 to 8,000 feet for the Department of Agriculture to verify fields for farmers. I would much rather work 12 hours on the ground than fly 1 hour in a plane. Absolutely did not like it at all.
And why did you do that?
It was an experience. We flew and went to Ohio and Arkansas, Missouri, Indiana. I think that was Pennsylvania,
like West Virginia,
Elkinsville, West Virginia, where there's at that point, it's if you've ever been to if you've ever been to West Virginia, beautiful mountains, it's the Appalachians. That particular city has a junkyard on one end of the runway and a cemetery on the other. So the joke was the plane goes one way, the body goes the other. Yeah.
For somebody who's scared of getting T-boned, you jumped the gun at green lights, and you're like, green, 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 go, go, go. You need to breathe for a second.
What is it? 1, 2, 3, stay alive. What is that saying that there are certain municipalities that are?
Well, that's usually for trains, I think.
Okay. All right. Simple things in life that you enjoy. I'll go first to give you a platform.
I don't think that was on our list.
No, I had a bonus one. Cars that when you lock, it goes beep instead of honk.
You like the beep versus
the beep is remember back in the day, and many of you listeners, whenever that was a thing that the alarm on the car, that like early 90s, burp, burp, and people would run over and say, "Are you okay?" And now it's like, turn it off. You know what I mean? Yes. It makes no difference. It doesn't scare anybody. It just annoys everybody.
It annoys everybody, yeah. It's like there's probably some psychological term for that.
But yeah, the pleasant sound of, the car's locked because it went beep instead of honk. I like that.
Okay.
Not all cars are created equal.
What was the question?
Simple are things in. Let me read. Things in life. Simple things in life you enjoy.
For me, it's a nice ice cold water.
No lemonade, because you don't like lemonade.
I don't like lemonade, no. But I like ice in my waters. Joey knows I love ice.
An ice production manufacturing system in the house. It's ice machine running all the time.
I like cold water. I don't want it to give me brain freeze, but I like it nice and cool. And that's something that's simple I enjoy. Or, being able to drink your cup of coffee while it's hot and drink the whole thing. Not scalding hot, but like nice hot.
Well, do you have issues of not being able to drink hot coffee when it's hot and you have to wait for it to cool?
I mean, sometimes like when I'm working, I'm drinking my coffee, I might get distracted, and then it's not that pleasant hotness.
A big glass of cold water on a really hot day. That's nice.
It is nice. Also,
working outside and then coming in and sitting in front of the air conditioner. That's nice.
It is nice. Yeah.
The old thought is, people back 100 years ago was much tougher. Well, they didn't know air conditioning. That was life. Right. It was hot outside. It was hot in the house. That's the way it was for summer. There was no. Look, we can. The story is years ago, back on the old home place. There was a well behind the wash house, and the story was that if you got very rarely did great grandpa get a watermelon. And that was a rarity. So he would take the watermelon and hang it in a net and then dangle it down in the well so it would chill, kind of like a refrigerator. And every once in a while, that net would break and that watermelon would fall in the well and didn't get no watermelon. Apparently, he was very angry when that happened.
Well, wouldn't you be angry if you were trying to cool your watermelon?
Well, I think after the first time, I'd be like, we're going to figure out a different place to put this watermelon. Yeah. Put it in a bucket or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
TV lines or movie lines that will always stick with you. We got to keep it PG. We got to keep it G-rated. So,
I'm not really like a TV movie person that has these lines.
There's not certain lines that you just.
So Joey knows this. I'm a big Gilmore Girls fan, and I think it's the final season. Lorelai, she's the mother. She's one of the main characters. She's trying to write a letter, and then the daughter was like, "Why don't you just put pen to paper?" And Lorelai, is very kind of a hyper person, maybe a little bit distractible like myself, and she's like, I tried that, and then she's like, my brain, it's like Casablanca, should I wear the white dress? And then at the end of this little like tangent she goes on where what her brain is doing, then she's like hockey puck rattlesnake, hockey puck rattlesnake monkey underpants. And to me that's very funny because that's how my brain works. And it's just the last part is hockey puck rattlesnake monkey underpants.
If you're in if you're part of society, you'll probably know, could I be wearing any more clothes?
Oh yeah, I guess that's a good one too from Friends.
Where's the top of this muffin at?
Seinfeld. Yes.
Smoking the Bandit, the first one. I got to go over to Kanye's tomorrow and pick up a load of Manure.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Joey loves Smokey.
The first episode, or one of the first episodes of Gilmore Girls, the deer hit me. You hit a deer? No, a deer hit me. It ran into the side of the Jeep.
Yes. That's as we know. I love Gilmore Girls, and Joey's watched plenty of it. And he likes the deer episode. So yeah.
But yeah, there's certain things that stick with you. What's the one that on Friends? Pudding, meat, or what was it?
The trifle.
The trifle, yeah.
He's like, meat good, jam good, pudding good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's iconic ones, and there's certain programs that it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what age you are. It is very universal that most all of society has seen it or seen some of it.
You know, I kind of wonder, like, remember when we were kids and we only had, most people people had cable, but most people had network TV, and you would watch something on TV that night, and then you would go to school and you would say that tagline, whatever it was.
There was a girl that was a year younger in high school than I was. Yeah, she was a year, and we would watch Seinfeld, and the next day we would talk about it and use it. Yeah,
right. And it's like, I know that, I don't know if these younger kids have that or not, because they watch so much different stuff.
Kids today don't understand that it took us 10 years to watch all of Friends.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. They can do that in a weekend.
Yeah, and now, like, even music and stuff, there's certain songs that are trending, the songs that were big in the 90s.
And even in the 80s, they will play a little snippet at the end of one of these streaming things, and it will blow up on the top 40 charts for like 3 or 4 weeks, and like, where did that come from? And then there's a whole, like, what is it? Everybody Wants to Rule the World, or whatever that band was in the 80s. That was a big thing about 2 or 3 years ago, that it just blew up. All right, uncommon animals that you find interesting.
I think that I find I like the American bison, the American buffalo, whatever you want to call it. I think it's an interesting animal. They've been around for a long time.
If you look at where they once was and the small little impact where they're at now, it's just incredible. And they were down to like 4,
right?
And we've brought them back to way high numbers. I mean, they were just shooting them like nobody's business.
Right. Same thing with the condor. I don't know much about them, but they brought them back.
The California condor,
California condor, and now there's like certain areas where they're being encouraged to breed.
And it was because of the chemicals. It was the DDT.
Yeah.
Bats are fascinating. Most bats are not bloodsuckers. We've had guests on talking about they don't. They eat insects. They fly around at night. And owls. When you sit in the woods, if you're fortunate enough to be in the woods in the evening around a campfire at camp, and you have owls going, it is the most incredible noise that you ever can experience.
It's unreal. And you think, okay, I know what an owl sounds like because maybe you have heard one from far away, or because of TV or a movie or whatever, social media. But when it's like when it's
20 feet above you,
when you know it's like right by you, it sounds completely different.
Mm-hmm. One more quickly here. Is there a past sporting event that if you could teleport back into time that you would want to go and watch that event happen live?
All right, so I'm not a sports person. I'm very minimally a sports person. I thought about this though because I am a Wisconsinite, and I don't even like football. But I would have gone to the Ice Bowl if I could have. Yeah,
that was like 63, 64, something like that.
I think that is just like a pivotal, historic game, and it's just like 100% Green Bay Packer, Wisconsin, right on there.
I've got 2 of them. The 1979 Daytona 500, which most of the eastern seaboard was snowed in with 4 foot of snow, and that's when Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison fought on the backstretch. They wrecked each other trying to win the race, and then Richard Petty won, and Darrell Waltrip finished second. That would have been a really cool one. And also, I believe it was the 1988 Saturday Night Main Event, WWE, when Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant fought on network NBC television, and 33.1 million people tuned in on a Saturday night to watch it. That was figured 1 out of every 3 homes, if you were driving down the road on that Saturday night, had that wrestling match turned on and watching.
That's crazy.
And I'm sure we were watching it too, because we have taped episodes back in that time frame. Well, that is Chatter Spot. Something different, something fun to talk about. Well, when